Alright guys, welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is Ali Plays. And today we're going to be doing the top 15 turn meter boosters in Raid Shadow Legends. So these type of champions are the ones that you want to, usually you want them to go first so they can give your team a boost in terms of turn meter. And some of them also do increase speed, other effects as well. So these are one of the best champions in the game. You use them for nuking. They try to counter these guys with Torment. But people found some ways around that. So we're going to talk about the best ones in the game. You can literally use these guys anywhere in the game. Very good for dungeons, very good for arena. They're very good for clan boss, depending on what your team composition is like. If it's a counter team, not really as much, but other teams there are, and unkillable teams not really as well. So yeah, we're going to go over the 15 best turn meter boosters in the game. And they're not going to be in any specific order. So yeah, let's get started, guys. All right, so coming in at number 15. We have Molly Tankard. I feel like Molly Tankard is actually a very underrated turn meter booster. If you look at her passive ability, it fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% when the champion gets hit. So what makes her amazing is she actually has a provoke. So she AoE provoke. She provokes all the enemies, and then all the enemies are going to go after her. And she's going to fill the turn meter of all allies by 15% at that point. She can't provoke bosses, but bosses tend to use AoE abilities. So she's going to fill the turn meter of all allies by 25% when she's hit by a boss. So it is on a cooldown. It's a passive, but it can be a one-turn cooldown, so she doesn't have to take a turn in order for it to work. But it actually does give a nice boost of turn meter for your allies. So it's a very good support ability for her to have. So she is kind of underrated in that aspect. And yeah, so that's why she is on my list of one of the best turn meter boosters in the game. And yeah, let's move on to the next champion. All right, so next up we have actually when you guys saw the title, you guys probably knew that Apothecary was going to be on this list, and obviously he should be. He's one of the best rares in the game. And this ability is actually one of the reasons why he is one of the best rares in the game. So he places a 30% increased speed buff on allies for 2 turns, and he fills the turn meter by 15%. So that's what makes it very good, is that he also gives him that 30% increased speed. And it's on a relatively short cooldown as well. It's a 3-turn cooldown. And he's got a very high base speed of 106. So there's a reason why Apothecary is one of the best champions in the game. He obviously has a heal as well. But for now, we're just looking at boon of speed ability. And that's why he's one of my best turn meter boosters in the game. All right, next up we have Astralis. So Astralis is often regarded as one of the worst legendaries in the game. And I understand why people think that. But what I like about her is that her A1 actually has a turn meter boost right there. Just from her A1, she has a pretty nice high base speed of 102. So if you look at her A1, attacks one enemy and it fills the turn meter of a random ally by 15%. And then she fills the turn meter of all allies by further 15% if the attack is critical. So if you build it with a 100% crit rate, she's going to be critting and boosting your turn meter just by her basic attack, which is very nice. Well, the thing about her is that she's an arena specialist, so that's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why people say she's not that good. As you can see, she has bombs on her A2, and people don't really want to start off with a basic attack. But yeah, I do consider her a very good turn meter booster, especially if you want to build her with a counterattack team. I know the counterattacks will fall off, but you're going to be going very often with your team. All right, so now we're talking about Gorga. So Gorga used to be one of the best arena champions in the game. Reason being because he has increased ally speed in the arena by 23%. So he was a lead for arena speed. He actually has a very powerful turn meter boost ability, because not only does it fill out turn meter of all allies by 15%, but it also plays the big version of increased attack on all the allies, which allows you to nuke. So this is very good for setting up a nuke. That's why a lot of people are using him. His base speed is 97, not the fastest, but that is respectable. And this ability is on a 3-turn cooldown when maxed out. The thing is, though, you can get away with not even using books on him. So this is why he's one of the best turn meter boosters in the game. All right, next up we have Golden Reaper, who is actually one of the biggest turn meter boosters in the game, because she does a 20% turn meter boost for whole allies, as well as placing that 30% increased speed. She is an epic, so obviously she's going to have a better version of whatever Apothecary has. Apothecary's boon of speed. He does I believe he does a 15% turn meter boost. She does 20%. She has a 5% advantage over him, but she has a very, very high base speed of 111. So she can actually work very well with a nuke team. I know she does not provide that increased attack that Gorga does, but that 30% increased speed is very nice to have, especially if you want to run her in dungeons. And the rest of her kit is very, very good as well. Mainly that decreased cooldown on her A1, and she has an AoE decreased attack. All right, you guys probably all know Raglan. So Raglan's a void legendary. You guys know her, very hard to get. She's very, very annoying champion. What I like about her is that her A1 has a pretty powerful A1, in my opinion. She has a triple hit on it. She attacks one enemy 3 times, and she fills the turn meter of 3 random allies by 15%. and the allies can only have their turn meter filled once per turn by this skill, which is okay, right? Well, that is pretty crazy. I don't know if it goes on a random ally like twice, like the same ally twice, and it doesn't work, but that can be an issue. But still, that is a very powerful turn meter boost, especially if when it's on a basic attack, no cooldowns. The thing is, though, she also has another turn meter boost ability. She can revive an ally with 75% HP and a full turn meter, which is amazing. That's like almost full HP, and she gives them full turn meter, and it's on a 2-turn cooldown when maxed out. So she also has a high base speed of 104, and yeah, she's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best turn meter boosters in the game. All right, so let's talk about Marksmen again. I believe he is an underrated epic champion. I'm not saying he's better than Raglan or anything, or better than the other champions mentioned before him. This is not in specific order. Once we get to the top 2, it actually is in specific order, but this is not in specific order. What got this guy on my list is that he actually has an attack that fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. 20% is a pretty big boost, but he doesn't do anything else. There's not too many turn meter boosting champions in the game, and he is in this conversation. And it's also on a 3-turn cooldown. All right, coming in at number 8. I believe we're on 8 now, right? Let's see. Yeah, we're on number 8. So number 8, we have Shatterbones. So what I like about Shatterbones, his turn meter manipulation is very underrated. He fills the turn meter of all allies by 25% while also decreasing the enemy speed by 15%. So this is on a very long cooldown. If you max this out, it's going to be a 5-turn cooldown, so way longer than the other ones. But getting this off in arena is actually very nice. If you can decrease speed of the enemy and also boosting your own ally's speed. So he's got kind of like a mini Lissandra. Lissandra actually does reduce turn meter, but he also has this ability that's a triple hit, does a lot of damage actually, and he has a 75% chance to decrease the turn meter by 30% of all enemies, and that's on a 4-turn cooldown. So he has very good abilities, and is a very good turn meter manipulator right here. All right, number 7, we have actually a free-to-play option for turn meter booster. So if you're having issues pulling turn meter boost champions, don't worry, you guys can use Hika. She's actually very good. So she basically has Apothecary's ability right here on a 3-turn cooldown, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. And she plays a 30% increased speed buff. So that's basically Apothecary's his A3 boon of speed ability. But she has it on her A2, but her turn meter manipulation is actually better than Apothecary's because she also has an AoE attack right here that has a 50%. When you max it out, it's going to be 75% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 15%. So she can also decrease turn meter as well as boost turn meter. And that's on a 4-turn cooldown. So her cooldowns are pretty nice. And she's a free-to-play champion. And to top it off, she also has decreased speed on her basic attack. So she's very good for turn meter manipulation, and she also has 104 base speed and a universal aura skill right here. So you can't really go wrong with her. I think she's one of the best turn meter boosters in the game, without a doubt. All right, next up, we have a very underrated champion, in my opinion. We have Doom Screech. He's a Void Rare champion. His turn meter boost is very, very big. It fills turn meter of all allies by 30%. That's actually a very big boost. And while also placing a big version of increased defense. It's very nice for arena if you're building a team that's defense oriented or defense based, but their damage is based on defense. That increased defense is actually going to help a lot. He's got a 95 base speed, so obviously it is a little bit lower on the low side compared to the other champions, but if you build him fast enough, he's going to be very nice on your team. All right, when you guys are looking at Doom Screech, you guys probably wonder where Seeker is. Yeah, Seeker is next. So Seeker actually has 103 base speed compared to Doom Screech's 95. So he's got 8 more base speed than Doom Screech does. So his version of turn meter manipulation or turn meter boosting is he fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. So that's the same thing, except he actually provides them an increased attack instead of the increased defense, but he also grants himself an extra turn. So essentially, this ability is supposed to be a 3-turn cooldown, which is essentially a 2-turn cooldown because he grabs himself an extra turn. So he's actually obviously a way better option than Doom Screech, but he is an epic champion, so it might be a little bit harder to get. And he's defense based, so that is very nice. All right, up next we have Prince Kymar. So Prince Kymar has 103 base speed. He looks like a beast. I mean, he looks like this guy right here. He looks like, or that guy looks like him because Prince Kymar was there first. So the thing about Prince Kymar, he has a high base speed, but the thing is, you do want him to go last on your team because of his turn meter manipulation is at 20%, right? He fills the turn meter of all allies except himself by 20%. So his is kind of different, and it's on a 6-turn cooldown if you max it out. The reason being he should be going last is because he resets the cooldown of all ally skills. He just resets them, not by 1 or by 2. He just resets them, which is actually very, very powerful. But the thing is, he actually fills a different role than the other turn meter manipulators because they actually want their team to go, their role is to go first and then bring their team behind them. This guy actually wants his team to go first, and then he comes in after them, boosts their turn meter, and resets all their cooldowns, which is very good for nuking. So he is actually very strong, but he's very different compared to the other turn meter boosters. And he's actually very strong in arena. He has a increased ally speed in the arena by 30% or a skill. All right, next up is Lanakis the Chosen. She's one of my most desired champions in the game. She has a very high base speed of 108. What makes her very good, her ability is very unique as well, is that not only does she call 3 allies to attack with her, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30% when she does this ability, and she can also increase the duration of ally buffs by 1 turn. So this is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful turn meter boosters in the game, and it's on a 4-turn cooldown, so it's actually not too bad considering what it actually brings to the table. So this ability is very nice, man. You guys got Lanakis. I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. So not really much else to say about that. She's just a very good champion, very good in speed teams. And yeah, let's move on to the next champion. All right, you guys probably all know this champion. She actually has 2 abilities that can boost turn meter, and she has 110 base speed. So the 2 abilities are Mentor of Hero, so she fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%, which is actually one of the biggest boosts in the game, while also placing a 50% increased attack buff for 2 turns. And then she can also heal all allies by 25% of the max HP if they have less than 50% HP. So not only does this boost turn meter, it also heals and plays an increased attack, which allows for nukes. And this is on a 3-turn cooldown when maxed out. And if any of your allies manage to die, you can use Destiny's. So revives all dead allies to 35% HP, and then fills the turn meter by 20%. So even if the allies were not dead and she used this ability and nobody's dead, you're still boosting turn meter by 20%. And if you actually manage to revive an ally, you grant yourself an extra turn. So this works in synergy with this ability where they can actually get healed right after, while also boosting the turn meter even more. She actually has a very nice arena skill. Increase ally speed in the arena by 30%. You guys probably see her everywhere. Everybody's using her. You can get her technically, you can get her free to play if you complete the missions, challenge missions. But yeah, in my opinion, she's second best, close first, second best turn meter booster in the game. You guys probably already know who number 1 is. Number 1's in the same faction. We're talking about Lissandra. So Lissandra has 110 base speed, so that is the same as Arbiter, but her turn meter manipulation is actually very unique because she places that 30% increased speed, and she fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%, while also decreasing the turn meter of enemies by 30%. So what she's actually doing is actually amazing for a 4-turn cooldown ability, but you don't need that many turns, so you don't really actually need to actually book her if you want to use her in arena, because once you use this ability, you basically won the fight. Because not only are you boosting your turn meter, as I said already, you actually decreasing the enemy's turn meter, so you have a chance to even the playing field. Or not even the playing field, you're just boosting yourself even more ahead of the enemies, because speed is actually king in arena, and you can actually use her in a lot of other places like Spider's Den. And she also has a very powerful A2, which fully depletes the target's turn meter. Yeah, guys, so that's going to be my list of the top 15 turn meter boosters in the game. Were there some champions that I named that you were surprised were on this list, or you didn't even know they have a turn meter booster ability? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you guys are new to the channel and you'd like to see them, consider subscribing. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm Tyrone. I need everybody to subscribe to the homie Ali Al Plays, and that's non-negotiable.